haven't even kissed a boy and I'm on the film. I found that really funny.
Hello, welcome to episode 13 of the Hormone Diaries. As I said in the last episode, I want to explore other people, not just me. So, welcome, Leena Norms.
The other-ish.
So, this episode is going to be all about PCOS, which is polycystic ovary syndrome, which Leena has.
I do.
So, this was going to be a video where I was going to ask Leena a bunch of questions about PCOS and she was going to school me on it. And then I was like, okay, I need to come up with some questions. I'll just read the NHS choices page. And then from reading it, I've been like, Leena, did you know this? Did you know this?
And I'm like, no! I got diagnosed 12 years ago when I was 15. So
yeah,
the information that was around then might have been different. I might have absorbed it differently. I'm quite guilty of probably not being that schooled on anything about my condition other than how I treat it and how it affects me. I think when you have an illness or a condition, does anybody else do that where they have an illness so they don't look it up? Is that just me?
I have ulcerative colitis and my mum looks up stuff about it all of the time and then tells me. What is PCOS?
So I thought it was having cysts on your ovaries, and that's how it affects your hormone balance, especially between testosterone and estrogen. Hannah is going to tell me different.
There are three main features of PCOS. One is irregular periods. Your ovaries don't regularly release eggs, so you don't ovulate. Mm-hmm. Excess androgen, a high level of male hormones, that can then make you have symptoms such
are more
as
masculine,
excess facial or body hair, and then other things as well.
Other fun treats.
And then this is the polycystic ovaries bit.
Yeah, this is what blew my mind.
It says your ovaries become enlarged and contain many fluid-filled sacs, which are called follicles, which surround the eggs. It's important to note that despite the name, if you have PCOS, you don't actually have cysts.
Air horns. I didn't know that until literally about 5 minutes ago. I've always been told that I had cysts growing on my ovaries. Yeah. They were permanently going to be there. They could fluctuate between being big and being small.
Maybe
go on your way.
This is the difference between science that we had 12 years ago and now. I thought it was cysts that were growing on the outside of your ovaries, whereas this description, it sounds like it's inside your ovaries and the individual eggs inside are surrounded by this sac, which prevents the eggs from getting out.
Which causes all sorts of fun and games.
So, for you, what are your symptoms?
Okay, so I initially went to the doctor because when I started my periods, they were incredibly painful, incredibly irregular. Okay. I was very worried about it, as a teenage girl would be. And they went and they were like, do you have excessive weight gain even though you do loads and loads of exercise? And I was like, yeah. And they were like, looks like you got a beard there. And I was like, I do. And they were like, yeah, so you have cysts on your ovaries. That was the symptom that initially triggered me getting
Maybe you do also have cysts on the ovaries. Maybe they weren't lying.
I also did have an ultrasound, which involves, by the way, drinking about 2 pints of water and then a man pushing down on your bladder. People pee themselves during that thing. So I did have a scan to prove that I had PCOS, but I thought they were seeing cysts, but maybe they weren't seeing cysts. Maybe they were seeing bags. But the other symptoms that I experienced, they were just things that I thought were just wrong with me. I genuinely thought I was one of those chubby, awkward, hairy teenagers, which I could have been, but one of the symptoms is that you have a very low level of insulin in your blood. And so as a PCOS person, I'm always pre-diabetic. I'm not diabetic, but I'm always in that danger zone.
So where did you hear that it's about you have low levels of insulin?
And that was from the doctor as well. Fucking wrong! This should be a game show called Do You Know Your Ovaries?
Is your doctor lying to you? This is the NHS website, I trust this. And it says, what causes PCOS? The exact cause of PCOS is unknown, but it often runs in families.
My mum doesn't have it, but I didn't know any of my grandparents.
It's related to abnormal hormone levels in the body, including high levels of insulin. What's happening?
I've been owned by my own ovaries.
So it says, insulin is a hormone that controls sugar levels in the body. Many women with PCOS are resistant to the action of insulin in their body and produce higher levels of insulin to overcome this.
So it's not that I don't have insulin.
So it's producing more insulin because the action of insulin isn't working. This contributes to the increased production and activity of hormones such as testosterone, which is where all of the physical things come from. Being overweight or obese also increases the amount of insulin your body produces. So you're more likely to produce more insulin if you are more overweight. The other thing that I find really interesting is the fact that one of the symptoms of PCOS and one of your experiences is that you have a lot of weight gain even if you are exercising a lot. It's really difficult to shift the weight. In this and then other places online, it was just treatment for PCOS. Try losing weight.
Yeah. So basically, I got diagnosed when I was like 15, and I had this male doctor, and he just looked at me very sternly, and he was like, "You're fat." I remember going into the car and crying, and my mum was like, "What's wrong?" And like the doctor said that I was fat, and like that stayed with me for a long time. I was already a really active kid, and I was like running up gantries at 15 because I was working at theatre, and I was like doing quite a lot of stuff. It wasn't like sports, but it was like theatre stuff. Something that I try and watch is my weight, but it's hard because I think it's also like, because it's harder to lose weight, you don't see like a difference for like a year. There was a point in my late teenage years where I was maybe about 4 stone lighter than I am now, but I was doing manual work in the desert.
Oh, right.
I was literally building trail for 12 hours a day, and then I was a size 12.
You're like, this is the smallest I would.
I was drinking 4 litres of water a day because that's how much exercise I was doing.
Oh my God.
Like,
what have you done in terms of treatment? Have you done anything?
So when I found out I was put on the pill, which felt very naughty because I was not sexually active, but I was like, I'm on the pill. Saucy. I haven't even kissed a boy and I'm on the pill. I'm not supposed to go on like the normal pills, but it's a special one. It was called Dianet. I think it's like used for acne a lot, but it's also supposed to treat the symptoms of PCOS.
Yeah, it's a tablet taken by women who have severe acne or excess hair growth.
It did also regulate my periods because they were like really painful and irregular, so I guess that.
Okay.
I took that for about 6 years without a break, which apparently is quite risky. It gives you the blood pressure of somebody who's pregnant. Came off it at university and just started feeling completely differently about my body as well. On the NHS I was given electrolysis, which is usually a really expensive treatment, but it's really, really painful. It's a hot needle in your paw that kills the root of the hair, and it's all around this really sensitive area. So if you want to have a look, I grew a little beard for you, Hannah. There's patches where it's worked, and some patches where I haven't had it done.
Yeah, there's nothing here.
Yeah. It's really weird. So I had that done for about a year, but it was so painful that I came out of it shaking and crying. They're 10 minutes long. Like, it's way more painful than any tattoo, apparently. And I got to that point where I think I was growing up and I was like, I'm telling my body that it's so unacceptable that I have to put it through all this pain just to be normal. And it was on the NHS, so it felt like it was a good thing to do. Sure. It felt like I was like sensible. But the only reason they prescribe it is because obviously hair growth on women isn't attractive.
It's not feminine.
Yeah, and therefore it's going to affect you mentally. Yeah. So that's why it's prescribed.
Of women that have facial hair that don't even have PCOS.
Yeah, totally. It wasn't a good enough reason for me to put myself through all that pain, put the NHS through all that expense, because it's fucking really expensive. And I just basically just said to them, I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Which means that I now have this weird patchy like hair growth thing. I spent a lot of time like putting a lot of acid on my skin to like dissolve it. So you know stuff that you'd put on your legs to like dissolve the hair.
Oh, the
I
hair
put it on my
cream.
face, and you're supposed to do it every like 6 weeks, and I do it every 3 days, and it was really like not good for my skin.
So this is when you're in your early 20s.
Yeah, and then like basically I was like, oh, I just don't care. Like I kind of like just let go, and then now I just like shave when I feel like it, like a man. Like I literally like. But it's really funny because me and my boyfriend do it together, and he's like, don't worry, it's fine, and let's shave together, and we like do it. It's kind of like in Shrek, you know, when they go on holiday. Shrek 2. So I do that, but I also like try and grow it sometimes just because I'm like, remember, this is a part of your body, it's a thing that's happening to you.
Okay, yeah.
So that's completely changed for me.
So have you also been off the pill since you were 21?
No, so then I went on a different pill, and that like fucked my head a bit as well, and I came off it. Like when I came off the pill, I felt completely differently about the people I was attracted to, and like broke up with my fiance. It really does fuck with everything about you, and it made me feel really uncomfortable. So then I went on a coil for a little bit, and that was really painful. I've just come off that, and now I'm on nothing. It's not advised, but I don't want to fuck with my hormones anymore.
Yeah.
And it upset me a lot, so I didn't want to do it.
If you have PCOS, you might find it hard to get pregnant. Usually you can with treatment. That's what the NHS website says. But since I've known you, you've always been like, I don't want kids.
I fucking hate it.
And then I was wondering, like, does you not wanting to have kids, is that coming from you
entirely? Is it a self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yeah. Or when you were 15, you were told that you wouldn't be able to, and so you've then conditioned yourself into not wanting them.
I remember them going, when you have kids, you're going to find it really hard to have them. And then I was also felt really weird because that's obviously one of the main functions in my brain of a female body. And I was told really early on that I might not be able to do that. And that was like really confusing because feminism hadn't reached commentary yet. It's something that doesn't bother me in later life because I don't really think I want them still. All of my friends are always like, oh, it'll kick in, just you wait. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not something that I think would upset me if I didn't want as well. I'm also on loads of like PCOS Facebook groups of like people who have PCOS across the world.
Yeah, it's a lot of people.
A lot of people join those groups because they're trying to get pregnant and they can't, and they're really upset about it. So there's a lot of like heavy emotional stuff. And there's one post that I saw the other day that's like somebody was like, comment below to show how many times you've tried to get pregnant. Green was like you lost it, and like red was like you got it, and it was like green, 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 red, green, green, red, green, 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 6 kids in heaven. Like so I'm looking at it like, you know, it's so heavy and it's so upsetting, and it's like, yeah, people can get pregnant, but I don't really want to go through that. For some people it's a really key part of their future, and I completely get that, and I'm like, yeah, go for it. For me it's not.
That's heavy.
Yeah, sorry.
That's really heavy.
That's the reality bit though, I think, as well.
Yeah.
And it's really, I wouldn't have had that without the internet.
How do you kind of deal in terms of like a mental health way and like a body positive way of like being happy with yourself in the body that you have, knowing that you've got a condition that affects the way that your body looks?
I think I forget it a lot of the time.
Okay.
Sometimes it stops me from holding myself to such high standards because I'm like, have a cake, you've got PCOS, give yourself a break. Not good, especially if you're pre-diabetic. But it's a thing of like giving yourself a break, then also remembering that you do have a pre-existing condition that could result in diabetes at any moment.
Yeah.
I sometimes have a really good relationship with my body, and then sometimes I really don't, and it's like this thing of like, I don't know, it's a weird one, but I'm working on it, and I think that I just treat it like it's eccentric. I'm like, oh, my body.
Oh, okay.
Putting on weight like nobody's business. Treating it with affection, but also reality. It's like a kid. You're like, okay.
Do you have anyone in like your real life, like friends who also have it, who you can go to?
I do now. I think I've found out more people have it. So when I was 15, it's really like a lot rarer to be diagnosed that young, and a lot of people develop it later in life. So the older I get, the more people around me will have PCOS.
Yeah.
So I think like now I have more people.
1 in every 5 women in the UK have it,
Okay.
and more than half of these women don't have any symptoms.
That's crazy. So I mean, I might have more friends that have it, but we don't know. Maybe.
Reading that makes me think how many women don't have any symptoms and they only find out once they try and get pregnant because they have trouble getting pregnant. They're like, why? And they go in for the tests and then they find out they have it.
I was definitely a chubbier kid and I didn't really understand why, and I just ate like my friends ate because I had no idea. Having a lower voice, but I don't know if that's like a thing. I don't know. And then there's also the body hair made me feel like I wasn't gonna be a girly girl. Like I couldn't be a girly girl, so I was like, I'm gonna be a tomboy. If I was like doing drama, I'd always be picked to play the man if there weren't enough men, or like stuff like that. And I'm like,
really?
okay. Yeah, or like the matron, the mum. I was always playing the mum in like every single play because I was like a bit chubbier.
I guess we should finish it on any advice you have for people who maybe have PCOS or they have symptoms and they're like, is this a thing that I maybe have? I don't know.
Because it's such a common thing, people are currently living their lives and dealing with it like easily. Never like think of myself as somebody who has a disease or has like a condition, because I know that there's way bigger conditions out there, and I'm like, I'm just a person with some facts. Go and work out what you can and can't eat. Go and work out what's best for you, but don't be this thing of like, this dark secret about my body I didn't know and now I'm going to die. It's a thing that like is helpful to know about, but don't freak out and read up on the current information about it, because if you've been diagnosed a long time ago, looks like it's changed.
If whatever contraception you're on, if it's hormonal and it's not agreeing with you and you don't like the side effects of it, just because your doctor kind of recommends you going on it because of your PCOS, there'll be pros and cons of being on it and being off it. It depends like which side effects and which symptoms you're most comfortable with.
Some people will assume that it's more important to you that you lose hair on your face or you get more regular periods than it is that you know, that like the risks of those medicines. I think at the end of the day, doctors are there to look at your symptoms and prescribe you solutions. They're not there to help you live with a condition.
Thank you for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and just let us know in the comments your thoughts on PCOS if you have it, and maybe like the things that you do to kind of relieve symptoms, but then also like the mental health side of it as well. We're also going to film a video on Leena's channel where we talk about what it's like to be in a relationship after being single for
because we both did
the
truth of being
time.
single. I feel like our online identities are like those single independent girls.
Yes.
And now we're like so hard in love.
Disgusting. So we're just going to talk about what that transition is like, I guess.
Yeah.
So you can go check that out and subscribe to Leena whilst you're there. Thanks for watching the Hormone Diaries.